Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Haribo, Jai Om Vishnupad, Paramahansa, Padaprajaka, Acharya, Asatara Sata Sri Shrimad. ISKCON BBT founder, Acharya Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitya Lila Prabhupada Om Vishnupad, Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se Kohosh Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopana Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Gira Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Bhajan Bhuman Namanam Ki Jai. Shri Navadvip Mayapur Nam Ki Jai. Shri Lachal Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shrimati Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Your most beautiful lordship Shri Shripini Dwarkadish Ki Jai. Shri Shripini Dwarkanath Ki Jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ki Jai. Shri Shri Gauratai Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Going back to home, back to Godhead Ki Jai. ISKCON Los Angeles Yatra Ki Jai. Brihad Madanga Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. International Food for Life Transcendental Prasadam Distribution Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Haribo. All glories to the Assembly devotees. All glories to the Assembly devotees. All glories to the Assembly devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Guru. All glories to the Prabhupada. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Deving Saraswatim Yasam Tato Jayamatirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of God and Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supremest human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author, and unto Srila Prabhupada, who is the translator, commentator, and our spiritual master. Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regularly attending the Srimad Bhagavatam class and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, whose worship with transcendental songs becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're continuing our reading from the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. We're in chapter 14. And today's text should be 9. Yasman Naha Sampado Rajyam Daraha Pranaha Kulam Prajaha Asan Sapatna Vijayo Lokash Cha Yad Anugrahat Yasmanak Samparo Rajam Darak Prana Kulang Prajaha Asan Sapatna Vijayo Lokasha Yadanugrahat Yasmanak Samparo Rajam Darak Prana Kulang Prajaha Asan Sapatna Vijayo Lokasha Yadanugrahat Yasmanak Samparo Rajam Darak Pranak Kulang Prajaha Asan sapatna vijayo lokascha yadanugrahat. Please chant. Yasmanaksam padorajam darak prana kulang prajaha asan sapatna vijayo lokascha yadanugrahat. Yasmanaksam padorajam darak prana kulang prajaha asan sapatna vijayo lokascha yadanugrahat. Yasmanak sampadorajam darak pranak samprajaha asan sapatna vijayo lokascha yadanugrahat. Tarak prana kulang praja asan sapatna vijayo lokascha yadanugrahat. Yasmanak sampadorajam tarak prana kulang praja asan sapatna vijayo lokascha yadanugrahat. Vaishnavis. Yasmanak sampadorajam tarak prana kulang prajaha asan sapatna vijayo lokascha yadanugrahat. Okay, synonyms. Yasmat, from whom. Naha, our. Sampadaha, opulence. Rajam, kingdom. Daraha, good wives. Pranaha, existence of life. Kulam, dynasty. Prajaha, subjects. Asan, have become possible. Sapatna, competitors. Vijayaha, conquering. Lokaha, future accommodation in higher planets. Cha, and. Yet, by whose? Anugrahat, by the mercy of. Srila Prabhupada's translation for this verse. From him only, all our kingly opulence, good wives, lives, progeny, control over our subjects, victory over our enemies, and future accommodations in higher planets have become possible. All this is due to his causeless mercy upon us. Please repeat. From him only, all our kingly opulence, good wives, lives, progeny, control over our subjects, victory over our enemies, and future accommodations in higher planets have become possible. All this is due to his causeless mercy upon us. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Material prosperity consists of a good wife, good home, sufficient land, good children, aristocratic family relations, victory over competitors, and, by pious work, attainment of accommodations in the higher celestial planets for better facilities of material amenities. These facilities are earned not only by one's hard manual labor or by unfair means, but by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Prosperity earned by one's personal endeavor also depends on the mercy of the Lord. Personal labor must be there in addition to the Lord's benediction. But without the Lord's benediction, no one is successful simply by personal labor. The modernized man of Kali Yuga believes in personal endeavor and denies the benediction of the Supreme Lord. Even a great sannyasi of India delivered speeches in Chicago protesting the benedictions of the Supreme Lord. But as far as Vedic Shastras are concerned, as we find in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, the ultimate sanction for all success rests in the hands of the Supreme Lord. Maharaj Yudhishthir admits this truth in his personal success, and it behooves one to follow in the footsteps of a great king and devotee of the Lord to make life a full success. If one could achieve success without the sanction of the Lord, then no medical practitioner would fail to cure a patient. Despite the most advanced treatment of a suffering patient by the most up-to-date medical practitioner, there is death. And even in the most hopeless case, without medical treatment, a patient is cured, astonishingly. Therefore, the conclusion is that God's sanction is the immediate cause for all happenings, good or bad. Any successful man should feel grateful to the Lord for all he has achieved. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Tiname Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshtarne Om Agyana Tamirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishang Shapitang Jaina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeyahang Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishavangscha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Ragana Tanvatam Tang Sajivam Shadvaitam Savadutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvatangscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpa Tarubhya Shah Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Swasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So back in the 70s, those of you who are old enough may remember, there was a very popular magazine called Cosmopolitan, Cosmo for short. And the editor of that magazine, Helen Gurley Brown, she stated once that women have this dilemma. They want to marry a man who's considered a catch, but in their heart they really want a hunk. So a catch is a man from a good family, good education, nice money. And a hunk, you don't have to explain, handsome guy, maybe a little dastardly, but exciting to be with, like that. So she said, wouldn't it be nice if you could find a chunk who is a combination of the two? In other words, good family, good education, money, but also handsome and exciting. So all of the Pandavas were chunks. Good family lineage, Kaurava dynasty, Pandus, and well-educated and wealthy. They were the rulers, but also very handsome. It's stated that especially the twins were very handsome, Sakula and Nahadev. When the Pandavas were put into exile, they had to remain incognito for 1 year as part of the deal. 13 years just in exile, and the 14th year they had to be like incognito, couldn't be seen anywhere. But the twins were so handsome that wherever they went, women would like drool over them. So they really had to like cover up and hide. But all of the Pandavas were in that category. They were handsome men, very virile, strong. Bhimasena especially had the strength of 10,000 elephants. But at the same time, very educated. And not just materially educated, but in spiritual education. Because material education will not ultimately solve the problems of life. Just the opposite. If one is materially educated but not spiritually inclined, then one's material education just causes chaos that we see in the world today. Those who are more materially intelligent, they use their intelligence to fleece the others. Business is really a very simple thing. You have some commodity and you sell it at a fair price. In the Vedas, it's fixed 25%. That should be the highest. But in our modern world, they've made it such a complicated thing. Any commodity you can think of, corn, oil, cotton, anything. They've put layers and layers of middlemen. And then they have speculation. It's called the commodities market. Futures. You can buy oil futures or rubber futures, or you think any commodity. So they've put so many layers of complexity in there, and certain small percentage of intelligent, materially intelligent persons use that system to make millions and billions of dollars. And the ones who grow the commodity, the farmers, they are quite often in debt. They're quite often in debt because they have to sell their commodity, their corn or their cotton or whatever, it's such a meager profit that they can barely stay alive. And the ones who make the money, the most money, are the ones who set up this trading and Wall Street and all that stuff. They make billions and they don't do anything. They don't grow anything. They don't grow anything. So this is the modern world that we're living in. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, his kingdom was not like that. His kingdom was not like that because he was a pious king, beyond piety, because he was a devotee king. Everything was properly regulated. Nobody was allowed to cheat. Everybody had to be honest. This is the duty of the king, to see that the people are honest, that they're engaged, they're fully employed. There's no unemployment in the kingdom of a good king. Because really, employment is a very simple thing. Either you're a Brahmana, you're a Kshatriya, you're a Vaishya, or you're a Shudra. That's it, boss. Not, you look nowadays in the employment section, there's millions of different job categories, and no, not like that. Very simple. At birth, astrologically, it was already calculated, and by observation also, the guru, the teachers could see the inclination of the children, and then they were trained accordingly. Those who were Brahminically inclined, not by birth in a particular family, but by their work and their attitude. And we have examples of that. Somebody may be born in considered to be a low-born family, but because they're very Brahminically qualified, they were trained as Brahmanas. And then the Kshatriyas, the administrators, again, you have to be a Kshatriya, you have to act like that, not be a rogue, you have to be a protector. Kshatriya means one who's willing to risk his own life to protect others. So you have to be brave. Shoryam, Tejas, Driti, Daksha. Yudhyecha Pilayanam, Krishna explains later on in the 18th chapter, the qualities of the Kshatriya, and the Brahmanas, and the Vaishyas, and the Shudras. So one had to be trained in one of these four categories. And the duty of the king, the administrator of that particular region, in this case, Yudhishthira Maharaj was the king of the whole planet, emperor, he had to make sure that if you say you're a Brahmana, then you act like a Brahmana. Not that you're a Brahmana, but you're, as Prabhupada would say, nowadays so-called Brahmanas are pulling telas. They're worse than animals. They're foaming at the mouth, pulling some load, and they having a two-piece thread, and they consider themselves to be Brahmanas. Not like that. Brahmana means one has to be patan yajanyana dana particular. These are the occupations of the Brahmana. One has to be very learned and be willing to teach others without any charge. Whatever remuneration comes naturally, the Brahmana would accept. But a real Brahmana, whatever he knows, and he's supposed to be very learned, he's willing to teach others. Not just willing, but he sets up a system by which he systematically instructs others. Yajan, he has to know how to perform sacrifice and teach others how to perform sacrifice. And dana pratigraha, because of these other four activities, he's allowed to accept charity, but then he also gives in charity, not just intake, and build up a big bank account. No, that's not Brahminical mentality. The Brahminical mentality is, yes, I can accept charity, but whatever excess there is that I don't need for my personal maintenance, then I give away. So this is Brahman and the Vaishyas. It's not just because somebody does business, they're a Vaishya. Vaishya means Krishi Goraksha Vanija. Krishi, they have to engage in agricultural activities, growing foodstuffs, not just growing uh, opium or something like that. The chacha. No, they grow edibles, foodstuffs, grains particularly, to feed the animals and to feed men. Goraksha, they have to protect the cows. The Kshatriyas are willing to risk their lives to protect the citizens in general, everybody, including even the plants. And the Vaishyas are willing to risk their lives to protect the cows and other animals, but primarily the cows. So this was Vaishya life. So nowadays, what passes as so-called Vaishya business people, they are, again, simply engaged in cheating, mostly, for the most part. Simply engaged in cheating. They get on the internet, they buy something in China for 10 cents, and they sell it in America for $100. And then the government doesn't care as long as you pay your taxes. Don't dare import something and don't pay your taxes. We'll throw you in jail. But we don't care if it's contaminated. They really don't care until they're busted openly, and then they start doing something. They pass them. But for so many years, people have been importing things, toys that have lead. And it's known so long that lead causes brain problems and other problems in children. But until they're explicitly busted, they turn a blind eye. Then when they're busted, then they write in the laws, no lead, no this, but what they really care about is collecting the taxes so that they can live nicely. Prabhupada said. The so-called rulers today, they collect taxes so they can sit down and eat nice bread and butter, and they send the poor boys to die. 6 months training, now you're a soldier, you go out and die. But the real Kshatriyas, real soldiers, were not like that. From birth, they were recognized and they were systematically trained, like the Pandavas, systematically trained by Dronacharya. So now after the war is over, they are successful, the Pandavas. They've set up their kingdom, they're the rulers of the world. But now Yudhishthira Maharaj is noticing these bad omens. These bad omens. People are beginning to become vicious, they're cheating, they're hypocritical, like that. So he knows something is wrong, something is wrong. Krishna has left or is about to leave. And the seed verse for this canto explains that. Krishna sadhama pagate dharma jnana divisaha kalo nashtadrashagesha puranarka denodita. This Bhagavad Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam, we study every day, is as brilliant as the sun. And it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna for his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of this age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. So this is Prabhupada's mission in a nutshell. He's representing Krishna. He's Krishna's representative. He said that explicitly many, many times. Especially when they would give him a hard time maybe entering some country. How dare you stop Krishna's representative? That's actually sinful. To stop, just like a government representative comes to New Dwarka and supposed to take a look at, I don't like you, get out. No, you can't do that. He's representing the government. You have to let him in. He wants to examine your books, whatever. You have to be open. So similarly, God's representative, Krishna's representative, should be able to go anywhere and everywhere without hindrance. So Prabhupada is very upset when they would give him a hard time entering some country or something like that. They don't understand. So since he's God's representative, his mission is to spread light into the darkness of this age of Kali, primarily through distributing the knowledge of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And beginning on Monday, we're going to have an overview of the Bhagavatam by Mother Narayani. Please attend, and especially the new devotees should come, and because it's good to have an overview, a vision of what it is we're presenting. And I've said this many times, but our brilliant book distributors, I don't know if Brigu did it, but in the mid-70s, some of our distributors were doing this. They were taking this first volume of Bhagavatam to the airport, huge book, and they would just stop some guy, mostly business people, give them the book and say, this Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun. And it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna for his own abode. Like that, they would recite the whole verse verbatim. And these guys would be bewildered, but some or other, many of them gave donation and took this big book home with them. And the funny thing about Prabhupada's books is that quite often the person who buys the book is not the one who gets the immediate benefit. Somebody else gets that book. There's one devotee here. As I travel, like I said, I'd like to ask devotees how they came to Krishna consciousness. And he was from a wealthy family right here in Southern California. And he discovered on his parents' bookshelf Bhagavad Gita. And they didn't even realize he was reading it. But after he graduated from high school, his mother asked him what he wants for a graduation present. So he said, I want to go to visit the Hare Krishna temple in London because I hear that their restaurant there is the best vegetarian restaurant in the world. So the mother was surprised. And he explained that all along he had been reading this Bhagavad Gita that she had gotten, probably passing through some airport, and she never really read it, but she left it on the shelf at home. So all during his high school years, he was reading Bhagavad Gita and started looking into this Hare Krishna movement and discovered, like I said, that the Soho Street restaurant is still very good, by the way. The Soho Street restaurant was the best vegetarian restaurant in the world, according to some reviewer. So he wanted to go there. So they bought him a ticket. He went to London. And then he came back here and became a devotee, initiated eventually. So Prabhupada's books are so powerful. Now here, Yudhishthira Maharaj is explaining that everything that he has that's desirable, again, good wife, progeny, nice seating places, everything is by Krishna's mercy. But as Prabhupada says in the purport, modern so-called educated people, they don't accept this. They think just by your brain, just by being smart, intelligent, you will get not only what you deserve, but way more than you deserve if you're really smart. But an intelligent person will understand, again, that all of these things that we find desirable are actually gifts of God. They're actually coming from God. Everything is coming from God. So Yudhishthira, being Dharmaraj, being very, very pious, being a devotee, he knows this. He knows this. He knows that everything that we've achieved here, and for them, they couldn't not notice because Krishna spent so much time directly with the Pandavas. He drove Arjuna's chariot. And because of Krishna's advice, Arjuna was victorious over so many insurmountable warriors, unconquerable warriors like Karna and Drona and Bhishmadev, his own grandfather, who was the greatest warrior. He was successful over all of them because of Krishna's direct advice, Krishna's direct intervention. So the Pandavas were very conscious. They were Krishna conscious. They were very Krishna conscious. And because of that, they became successful in this battle. And now that Krishna was leaving, they also wanted to leave. Again, it's very telling that this war, this great fratricidal war, was fought mainly to protect Draupadi's honor. The Kurus had directly insulted the wife of the Pandavas. She wasn't the only wife. Arjuna had other wives and the others had other wives, but she was the one wife that was common to all 5 Pandava brothers. You know the story. And because she was insulted, they were willing to die to protect her honor. That's the seed of this great battle. But now that Krishna's pastime was being wound up, we'll find that when they really understand that Krishna's gone, because Arjuna came back and related everything that happened, then they decided at one point it was time to leave. And when they left the palace, they didn't even tell Draupadi or Kunti, their mother, who was still alive at that point. They just walked out. And the women of the palace, including Kunti and Draupadi, they just happened to look out the window and see that the Pandavas were leaving. So much feeling, attachment they had for their mother and for their wife, Draupadi. But when it was time to go back to Godhead, their attraction, primary attraction, strongest attraction, is for Krishna. And we're all meant to be like that. Just like iron filings are attracted to magnets, our attraction is meant to go to Krishna like that. It doesn't mean that we don't have attraction and feeling for others, but the strongest attraction, the strongest feeling has to be for Krishna. Who can we put forward who is more attractive than Krishna? That's why he has that name, Krishna, the all-attractive Supreme Personality of God. And nobody can be more attractive than Krishna. Whatever we find appealing in anyone else is just a fragment of that same thing existing in Krishna. Even sometimes we find rascaldom attractive, like, right? A child does something a little bit rascally and oh, you're so cute. So Krishna's like that. He can be the biggest rascal. When Krishna was a child in Vrindavan, he and Balaram, as you know, would go around and steal the neighbor's butter. And that's why he got the name Makkan Chor. Makkan is butter. A chor means thief. So he was the butter thief. So these gopi neighbors, they would come to Mother Yashoda and complain, your two sons, they're such rascals. They come into our homes, they pinch our children and make them cry, they steal our butter. And Mother Yashoda said, what, you think we don't have butter in our house? Why are you accusing my son of stealing butter? No, 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 no. You may have butter, but they come to our house and steal. And even we keep the butter in a high place, in a dark room, some or other, because of their jewels, maybe they light up the place and they can see it. And so Mother Yashoda said, no, starting tomorrow, I'll take all their jewels away. No, 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 don't bother. Even if you take their jewels, they're self-effulgent somehow. They just light up the room like that. So like that, they were complaining, but they were actually feeling ecstasy, remembering Krishna's pastimes of stealing their butter and even pinching their children. So this is God. Everything that God does is attractive, appealing, wonderful, worthy of meditation. People who so-called meditate on some light, or they don't know the ultimate source of all light. That's what you should meditate on, and that's Krishna. Krishna is the ultimate source of all light. So the Pandavas, including Yudhishthira, they're knowing quite clearly that Krishna is God and that everything that they have is coming from him. But the residents of Vrindavan, they're considered to be on a higher platform because they don't care if Krishna is God or not. They don't know and they don't care. Sometimes it may cross their minds, just like again Mother Yashoda, when the boys came home one day and complained, Krishna's eating dirt. What? Why would Krishna eat dirt? I've given him such nice sandesh, rasgula. No, 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 he ate dirt. So Mother Yashoda came out. Like any concerned parent, if you hear that one of the children here is outside eating dirt, you would want to stop them because it's contaminated, especially the dirt that we have here. Our dirt is nothing but a big doggy outhouse. All the dogs. The grass looks nice maybe, but you roll around in that grass, you're getting nothing but contaminated dog stool urine. Even if the owners clean up after them, it's still, contamination is there. So Yashoda Mai was concerned. She went and Krishna, why are you eating dirt? I didn't eat any dirt, Ma. These boys are lying. We had some quarrel and they're just trying to get back at me. No, no, but your older brother Balaram, he also said that you ate dirt. Oh, he's just mad at me also. She said, okay, well, if you didn't eat dirt, you can prove it by opening your mouth. So Krishna complied. He opened his mouth wide and she looked inside and saw Earth, Venus, Mars, Mercury, the entire solar system, the entire galaxy. What is the name of our galaxy that we live in? Milky Way. And so many other galaxies. Everything, the entire universe she could see in Krishna's mouth. And she became bewildered. She became bewildered because she's thinking Krishna's my little baby dependent, but she's seeing the whole universe in his mouth. So just for a fraction of a moment, Krishna pulls back his yoga maya so she can get an inkling of who he really is. But her love for Krishna as her child is so strong that it overpowers. And again, she said, all right, don't do it again. You see, again, her love is so strong. So there are different categories of devotees. In one category, the Pandavas, including their mother, also Kunti, she knew Krishna was God. And therefore she prayed like that. Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakate Param Alakshasara Bhutana Antarbahir Avashyatam. That you are the supreme source of everything. But people don't know that. You're inside of everything and outside of everything, but the foolish people, they don't know it. But she knew it. So this is one level of devotee. They are devotees of Krishna, they love Krishna, but they're unaware of the fact that Krishna is God. But on a higher level, you have the residents of Vrindavan. They don't care if Krishna is God or some demigod or whatever. They don't care who he is. They just love him. That's all. And so these different grades of devotees, and there's one pastime with Narad Muni and Lord Narayan where he's proving that the residents, and Krishna, he's proving that the residents of Vrindavan are the best, highest. Krishna told Narad Muni, I will prove it to you. You go to all my devotees, including the demigods and everybody. Tell them I have a headache. And the only cure is the dust from your feet. However, if you give me the dust from your feet, you're going to have to go to hell, at least for some time. So he went, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, etc., and he explained, Krishna has a headache. Oh, what can we do? He needs the dust from your feet, but if you give that dust, you'll go to hell. No, 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 I can't do that. I can't do that. Gradually, he went through all these. But then he went to Vrindavan and the gopis, and he told them the same story. Krishna has a headache. Only thing will cure it with dust from your feet. But if you give the dust, you'll go. We don't care. Take it. Take it. We have to cure Krishna's headache. This is the highest level. They don't care for their personal comfort or anything. Here, Yudhishthira Maharaj is speaking about his personal comfort, his asana and his wealth and his wives and going to heavenly planets. But residents of Vrindavan, they don't care about any of that. They just care about Krishna's happiness. What can we do to make Krishna happy? So this is the mood ultimately that we have to catch up. And Prabhupada has made it very practical. You want to please Krishna? Chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. And go out and give that chanting to others. Like last night we were in the promenade in Santa Monica. I was leading the chanting, but I noticed there was some security guard. He approached our Bhakta Benjamin and actually asked. I thought he was asking for the reservoir of pleasure that Benjamin was standing out. So I was a little surprised because people don't usually approach and ask for something. So afterwards I asked Benjamin about this guy and he said, no, he actually wanted the cookie. Which is all right. Anything, anyway, anything that attracts them to Krishna, whether it's a cookie or the book or the dancing or the chanting, any way that they're attracted is beneficial for them and eventually they will go back to Godhead. So we'll stop here. Any questions, comments? Okay, Granth Sahib Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Raul, can you do me a favor real quick? Just hold this while I put these in here.